I just wanted to see. So thanks, Tim, and thanks everybody for coming out today. I think I'm going to read 2 quick things for you. I mainly write fiction, so get ready for some lies. Do you want to get laid? He asks. The man rides his bike on the street next to me. He's doing figure 8s in the road. It's 3 a.m. The only other noises on the street are my boots hitting the pavement and his tires with each turn. Staying out of my direct view, he wants me to look at him. I didn't bring a knife with me tonight. Do you want to get laid? He asks. A black and white squad car goes up the street a block away, and it's probably the first time in my life that I wish that the Nashua PD were paying attention. My legs are tense and I can feel the cold October air through my tights. I look across the street ahead of me, just looking at an angle, and I take in the details. The blue neon light of Dante's Liquors against the long shadow of the church spire. The smell of the manna on the bike's cigarette. The red cherry of the butt in his mouth. His mustache. Hey, he says, do you want to get laid? I want to go home. I stayed too late at Turtles and Jimmy didn't want to pick me up at the bar. I wasn't even drinking. The old railroad tracks on the right side of the sidewalk are overgrown with grass and bushes. I walk this way home from work all the time. I know there are needles, trash, used condoms, and fast food bags in the dark. I think about how the morning light might look on my dress. If people driving by will notice the blue plaid pattern through the grass. If the buckles of my boots would reflect light in their eyes and cause people to notice what was left of me. Do you want to get laid? He says. His tone has not changed. It's not menacing. It's not impatient. It's not going away. I have 2 blocks to go. The kilt pins in my dress are 5 inches long. My hands are baking in my coat pockets, so I take them out. My phone's glistening with my left hand sweat, and the first swipe doesn't bring up the keypad right away because my finger's just too slick. I dial 91 with one thumb, while my other hand is undoing a kilt pin. I'm 2 blocks from home, 2 blocks and 50 steps from a snoring Jimmy. Do you want to? No, I say. I don't break my stride. The kilt pin's awkward curve digging into the tops of my knuckles. Its point an inch below my fist. The man on the bike takes a longer circle. I cross the street. The apartment buildings don't have any lights on. Nashua by night. I have a block to go. There's no street parking in the neighborhood from October until April. I want to move someplace warmer. Do you want to get laid? He asks, just as I am at the corner of my street. My throat dry, my hands wet. I stop under the streetlight and I turn to face him. He has gray hair, a ratty old jacket, and he's wearing workout pants. The fancy new bike underneath him doesn't appear to be in his price range. His eyes are bleary when they meet mine. Fuck off, bitch, he says. I stand under the streetlight and watch him right back down the road in this very same direction that he'd followed me from. Once I can't see him, I walk 30 steps to my porch. I unlock the door. I get in and lock it. I then take 20 more steps to the bedroom. I see Jimmy facing the wall. He's still. You're late, he says. I hold the kilt pin up and I inspect it. Next time you're out this late, don't come home, he says. I put it down before sliding into bed next to him. You got it.
Wow.
Thanks. And then this one real quick. I know I said about lies, but I lied. I'm going to read you a nonfiction one now. It's called But I'm Wanted. Name has been changed to protect somebody I'd rather never see again. April's lips are chapped. They're rough and scrape against mine, and the taste of nicotine fills my mouth. Her fingers are wrapping around the tendrils of my mullet, and she pulls my hair a lot harder than I expected. It's my first kiss. Well, the first one I count anyway. She's my age, 15, but her face looks older, with a gap-toothed smile and painted-on eyebrows that would fit on any 40-year-old woman my dad might pick up at the bar. Her aggressiveness turns me on. The red plastic slide we're leaning against digs into my back. You're so cute, she says. So are you, I say back, but a month from now, that won't be true. Here, the first girl to give me the time of day now that I'm a teenager, and because she's the first person to ever tell me I was cute, she's hot. I met her last week visiting my dad at his apartment. He's 34, physically imposing, and I hate him. He's not too fond of me either right now. Weekend passes from the group home I've been living in for the past 18 months have been split between my mom and him. My brother and I share a room in the apartment. I sleep on a cot. Jeff has the bed. April waited for me on the concrete steps of the building next to my dad's. She smoked 6 butts waiting for me, and her Looney Tunes t-shirt had the Tasmanian devil dressed up in hip-hop clothes, and it had a few cigarette burns in it. She pulled me by the hand to the playground, and with barely any words, we tried to devour each other. One of her hands reaches under my shirt and scratches my back so hard I almost push her away, but the pain also brings this electric rush of desire I've never felt, so I do it back to her and bite her dry lower lip. She tells me I'm learning. I don't know if kissing her will get me in trouble back at the group home. The cardinal rules are no sex, no drugs or alcohol, and no threats or acts of violence. 2 and 3 are pretty clear to me, but when she moves my hand to her chest and I feel a breast for the first time, I wonder if I have to confess this contact when I get back or if only penetration counts. My hard-on is noticeable and stringing against my pants, and I don't know where this is all going to go. During the week, I live in the co-ed house on the residential campus. The girls live on the first floor, the boys on the top. I was in a room with a kid who had molested his siblings when I first moved in, but once the staff noticed that he was a head taller than me and 50 pounds heavier, I was moved into a room with a heroin addict, a car thief, and Mike, who we knew had done something violent, but had never talked about it and was always laughing and joking with everyone. April's breast was full and round, and I pawed it clumsily as she guides it under her shirt, and the Tasmanian devil's facial expression seems to shift into confusion as my hand groping underneath it. It's sundown on Saturday. The playground is empty. My dad and brother have gone to get us a pizza. My dad didn't want me to bring anyone into the apartment. The rule was put down 4 minutes after my initial conversation with April. I thought him leaving Mom meant all rules were off, so why should I follow them? Probably because I'm not out of the woods yet. I have 4 weeks to go before I graduate the program and can come home, after 2 years of being away. I was in the 8th grade when I was caught with a knife at a dance. I'm going to be a sophomore now. Mom still has the house. I want to live with her anyway. Dad's a dick. Dad didn't make it tonight, so this is okay. I hear someone coming and I pull away. It's just a dog. April laughs and then grabs the bulge in my jeans. I always like to feel this, she says. This is what a girl can do to you. She's been at this longer than I have, experience compared to me, and I'm grateful for it. Once she touches me there, I know I can't talk about it to anybody else, or else I might have to stay in the program for another, I don't know how fucking long. It ruined Mike's release date when he admitted to sleeping with his girlfriend, or was it running away with Alyssa and having sex with her the week after? I don't know. And I worked at the program so hard that I didn't have to keep living there. She's still rubbing me through my pants, and it chafes. We should find someplace private, she says, and we leave the park and walk down the street towards the fitness and function room area. The weight room is barely used in the evening, she tells me. I put my arm around her and she puts her hand in my back pocket and I'm swooning. I've got a girlfriend. And then a black Honda Civic pulls up the road and she pushes my hand off her shoulder and waves. The car slows and the boys in the car, maybe a year or two older than us, yell her name. She tells me to wait on the curb and I do. And she leans into the car and I can't hear what she says, but I watch the way she's swaying her hips back and forth, and when I hear the 3 of them laugh as she pops her head out of the car to look at me, I just nod. And when she comes back, she tells me they're just some guys she knows, and I'm not stupid, but my teen hormones are raging, and the fact that I understand that she knows them, and that she avoids questions about it, makes me hotter than I've ever been in my short life. Years from now, I'll look back at my time with her without fixating on the young lust I felt. I'll remember breaking up with her because she'll lie about the hickeys on her neck that weren't from me, her casual theft, and how for 6 months her new boyfriend will call my mother's house and threaten me. I'll remember every mean thing she says about me, and how her confession of all the people she was sleeping with in the 2 months we went out didn't faze me. That the only time that she was ever nice to anyone was when they were touching her, or vice versa. But at this moment, at 15, I'm amazed that she chose me. Maybe not for long, maybe for not even after this weekend, but I'm wanted.
Wow.
Thanks.